guests know Grace really well. And those of you that are in Southtown Club know Grace really well as well. She's the director of our local service projects. And my thing about Grace is that she's got so many plates spinning, because if we need somebody to put the recording of this meeting on our YouTube channel, it's Grace. If we need somebody to step in and help with the polio fundraiser, it's Grace. So anything you need, just call Grace. No, I think she's speaking out. So anyway, Grace, I'll turn it over to you before I tell everybody to call on you to volunteer.
Okay. I've got to fix a few things here. I need to share screen. Sorry about that.
Do you need me to make you a co-host, or you already are?
I am. Okay. 1 second.
Okay.
My glasses aren't working.
Oh, man.
Okay, where is it not working? Let's see.
I just went to the eye doctor and I don't need glasses still. Yay.
Oh, my goodness. So the problem is when you're hosting and you're sharing screen and you're trying to get a PowerPoint up, it's a little tricky, but right, I'm going to share screen and then put on the PowerPoint. So that's the way I'll do it.
And make sure you share the sound if you have sound.
I don't have sound, so that'll be fine.
Okay. Because I've done that and then I forgot to share the sound and I had to back up. Okay, everybody unmute or mute yourself, please.
Okay, I'm hoping that you're seeing the presentation and not the notes and all that. Are you seeing the presentation? Okay, great. All right. Well, I want to tell you about Oregon Real Estate Investors Association. And of course, we've been doing it COVID-19 style. This is, my members have seen this slideshow quite a bit, but well, Oregon REIA is in Eugene. We cover Eugene, Springfield, Albany, Corvallis, and Lebanon, and we've added on Bend during COVID. Well, right before COVID, but now it works really well with being on Zoom. You know me, I'm Grace. I'm the founder of Oregon REIA. So we call it REIAs, and I'll tell you about that more later. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a landlord. I'm a flipper, in case you've heard of flipping homes. And I also am a note investor, which is a side thing in real estate. I can tell you about our meetings. Last week, we had a note school from Texas through Zoom. And Note School is a great big organization that teaches creative financing for acquisitions of real estate, as well as how to invest in non-performing notes, performing notes, and how to invest across the country. Brian Lochner was our speaker, and he ran a Saturday class for us. And then 2 days ago, Dan.
Grace, we can see your next slide.
Well, that's why I asked if it was
on your share screen. I know it. And somebody mentioned, Joelle mentioned that, and I wasn't even looking at it.
Well,
but now that I see it, I wanted you to know.
I can fix it now. Now that it's up, thank you.
Now that you know.
Is it correct now?
Yep.
Says yes. Okay, thank you very much. Dan Gandy, who is a marketing mastermind in our group, and he's here today, and you'll get to meet him in a little bit, is a professional marketing person for real estate, high-end real estate agents. Hi, Tony. Welcome.
Aloha.
Aloha. And so that's a third Tuesday of the month meeting we have. And then on the third Thursday of the month, we do our Bend Area Invest, which is a very difficult market to get into. And so we talk about how to get into that through manufactured homes, actually. And then on the fourth Wednesday or the last Wednesday of the month, we have our members only mystery meeting, and the members find out where that's going to be, maybe a day before or the same day or a couple days before usually. And what we do is we go to each other's projects usually, and or have a party. We always have a party afterwards. Like go to a restaurant when restaurants are open, that is. It's a fun group. And then coming up on June 1st or June 6th, the first Thursday of the month, we'll do our deal deep dive. And somebody will present a deal, or several people will present deals and talk about how they did it and creative financing and or answer questions and that kind of stuff. We have a lot of new members. That's great too. And then we'll be back to our main monthly meeting where we have a guest speaker, but this time it will be a member. It's a real estate attorney and estate attorney, Stephanie Dolan, who just moved into the area, leaving the fires behind. And then I just wanted to mention that our plan is to be in person on the month of July. And at our main meeting will be July 13th, and we'll be back at the Hilton Garden Inn. Our motto is, together, we're better. And we all work together and help each other. I believe that real estate investing is not a solo sport, it's a team sport. And this is something we do at our main meeting where each member will introduce themselves and tell their haves and wants. Haves, like they might have something they want to sell, or they're looking for some real estate of a certain type or whatever, or a contractor or whatever. And so this time, what I want to do is share this, open up this and call on my members to tell, instead of their haves and wants, tell you guys why they are members of Oregon REIA. All right, so I'm going to start with Jeanette Montague, who was the first person on today. She's working, all the members might
Thank you,
want to unmute
Grace.
themselves while you're waiting.
So, all right, I was having trouble unmuting, you know. Jeanette Montague, Farmers Insurance. I was a landlord when I first joined, and now I do my real estate investing the lazy way. I let Precision Capital do all the work for me, and I sit back and draw my 6.5% or 7% interest. Works for me because I'm working 60 hours a week. I'm a farmer's insurance agent. So Farmers owns Foremost, who happens to be the leading insurer of specialty dwellings. Specialty include flips, vacant, landlord, RVs, boats, motorcycles, just about any kind of specialty thing you could look for is covered. Foremost insures. Vacant homes are tough. Most carriers won't touch them. Foremost does. Their rates aren't cheap, but they're reasonable for vacant homes. I also do flood insurance. I'm recently appointed through Neptune, which is a private flood insurer, and about a quarter of the cost of FEMA. So if you need flood insurance, be sure and check with me, because I can get you an A-rated company that doesn't cost you like FEMA does. And that's what I do.
Thank you, Jeanette. Now I'm calling on Mike.
My name is Mike Rizzi, and I've been a Rotarian for like 25 years. I was started in the Midwest, and I'm now a member of the Eugene Rotary Club. 2019 was the culmination of a 5-year plan where I paid off a regular rental, and was my 6th year as an Airbnb host, but I'm on 4 websites, and it's one of the premier properties in town. We're booked mostly year round, and this year probably going to gross between 40 and 50. I do private money lending, and I've actually found a little niche in the legal cannabis industry, which has no access to banking and some incredible interest rates. And from all the proceeds, I try to do all the good I can in the world. I'm just about to fill out an application for the Burrito Brigade, but I've been a Egan Warming Center overnight supervisor for 7 years now. Next Wednesday, I give my 204th lifetime blood donation. And I've been working Rotary volunteer registration at the fairgrounds for vaccines for the last 3 months every Sunday. I just do a lot of stuff. People ask me, why do you do all these things? Well, I'm making up for very sinful youth. Just kidding. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Okay, Dan Gandy, are you ready?
I'm
Tell us
ready.
about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I am Dan Gandy. I am a investment broker here in town, as well as a real estate marketing consultant. I am a partner in a technology company that builds websites and strategy for real estate agents across the U.S. We got about 15 employees. And I'm also an investor myself. I like to invest in multifamily, multi-unit properties, some fix and flip, but other creative financing and type of acquisition deals, and helping low-income people find good places to live at an affordable price. So yeah, and Grace has been awesome. Kind of put me under her wing when I moved to Oregon, and we've been able to collaborate and build a good network of people and help people that are in need. So super excited to be here.
Dan forgot to say that he's absolutely brilliant and he's got a really good heart.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
So true. Stacy.
Hi guys, Stacy D here with Icon Real Estate Group. My reason for REIA, let's see, when I first started with REIA, I was working with Momentum Property Solutions. That was my flip company. And I had flipped my first house, and that was quite an adventure, and realized that's probably not my forte. So I still stay in the group because being in the know is how I can be best to help my clients who are looking for properties like that. And so that helps. And then it's just like a matchmaker kind of thing. So that's kind of fun. And I do have an Airbnb, so I'm also a good resource for the Airbnb community. And let's see, I think that's it. Oh, and Grace and I have done game night. So that's always fun.
That's true. Yeah. And Stacy's always ready to show a property. You need to get in, she's there. Patricia, how about you?
Hi, I'm delighted that Grace asked me to be one of her guests today. I'm one of those folks, I have a little Venn diagram overlap, as I am also a Rotarian. I moved out here from Philadelphia in the middle of the pandemic, and I reached out to Grace because I realized as a member of REIA, I got some straight email that she mentioned it, and I said, oh, I'm looking for a new Rotary home, and so she has introduced me to you all. I'm delighted. I'm also a real estate investor full-time. I'll tell you, I had a bit of a boondoggle. I decided to go to medical school and become a physician first. So I was an MD, and I am an MD, and practiced medicine, family medicine, up until about 2010. I did that in Philadelphia, and then decided that was not the best fit for me, and I changed career paths. I had done some flipping before in my early 20s. In San Jose's Almaden Valley. So I sort of circled back to the investing pathway. I have flipped dozens of houses. I never want that job again. And I primarily am a buy and hold investor. And I like to work in the single family home space, in the small multifamily home space. I love fixing up houses. But I also am a note investor. So I do that. I do private money lending. I do some coaching as well. And I recently just launched a large private equity real estate investment fund that is primarily focused in Portland. And I have three others actually, that I'll be doing next year, one in Iceland, one in St. Lucia, and then some senior living opportunities down in Texas. So that's what I do. So the reason why I joined REIA is the real estate investors among us will recognize this phrase. People say that your net worth is your net work. And when I have new investors who want me to coach them and mentor them, I always tell them, you need to join your local REIA. That's step one. And if there's a market outside of where you live, where you'd also rather invest, you have to join that REIA as well, because that's how you connect with people. It's I have a list of if I need a roofer, a painter, a home inspector, a title guy, an attorney or something like that, it's always my network I go to. And the REIA, wherever in the markets that I'm invested in, I have contacts with local folks on the ground. And there's a famous podcast, two guys, Robert and Russell, the Real Estate Guys radio show, and they say, you live where you want to live, but you invest where the numbers make sense. Well, the only way I would invest where the numbers make sense is an area where there's a REIA, because it's that strong. This is my varsity team. Wherever I'm investing, it's always the REIA that I call on first. I have cold called presidents, vice presidents, or the leadership of any given REIA I'm interested in. And we're really a fun bunch. We love to talk about deals. We love to talk about our markets, our industries, and we're always happy to connect each other with whatever resources we need. So all that's to say that I'm thrilled to be part of the Oregon REIA. I joined the Portland REIA. I'm still a member of the REIA back in outside of Philadelphia, and I can't say enough good things about it. So even if you have a passing interest in real estate investment, this should be your first membership stop.
Thank you. And Patricia's going to be our first speaker when we're back in together.
In July. I'm
In July.
so excited.
I know,
So
right?
excited.
We can get here soon
It's
enough.
gonna be great.
Uh,
Yeah.
Tony is our newest member who joined, and it lives in Hawaii. So I want to hear from Tony.
Aloha. Yeah, I'm a very new member. I bought my first investment property in Waikiki early in the 2000s. It's 2002, and the bug got me. I had so much fun with it. It was a fix and flip, and I did all the work myself. We call it sweat equity. Fixed it up and sold it, and with that, I was able to buy the place that I live in now. That's much larger than I probably could have ever afforded otherwise. And I raised my kids. My oldest is actually graduating this year and going to the University of Oregon, moving to Eugene. So that's the reason why I've been a member of our local real estate investor club for many, many years. And the one thing that we always agree on is like Patricia just said, if you're going to be investing in an area, you definitely have to join the REIA in that area and network with those people, because when you help people, the goodness goes around. And so that's the first thing that I did. We're going to be going over to visit in a couple of months. I've never been to Eugene, but I'm very excited to meet the team. And I really like what I see. It looks like a powerful and loving team. And I can't wait to get started.
Great.
Well, Tony, I expect Grace is going to pull us all together for a little meet and greet when you're here. So I'll put that on her shoulders.
We'll have
Awesome.
a party.
And thank you so much for being so sweet, Grace. I've had a wonderful time talking to you and helping with all the technical difficulties. You've been amazing.
Thank you, Tony. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again if I can do it correctly. And hopefully I'm showing the real PowerPoint. I'm checking for nods. Okay. And this is a screen that I show often, reason to join REIA, but I think these guys said it way better than I can. But this is how much it costs to join the REIA, and these are dollars per year, except for that the bottom one it says a monthly one. So for a single person, 150, a couple 200, small business 300, that kind of thing. And a vendor membership, like we have a vendor membership thing where, and all our vendor members right now are hard money lenders actually. And Seton Funds is pretty much our favorite around here because it's the local one. And then of course I have a YouTube site where people can catch up on the meetings and recordings that have happened during Zoom. So what I wanted to let you know about is how it all started. I started Gratefulness Homes in 2010 after being in a sales position where I had no more customers because of the crash that we experienced. So I went to a training, and there I heard about REIAs, and REIA stands for Real Estate Investors Association. And the Portland one is called the Northwest REIA. And so I went up there and visited it and started going to meetings in Portland 4 times a month, basically one every week, driving up to Portland during traffic and coming back. I would say I could get there. It would take me 3.5 hours to get the meeting and 2 hours to get home, basically once a week. And then because of my dedication, I was noted by that REIA that I should start one in Eugene. The president asked me of that club to start a group in Eugene. So I started a meetup, and under the Northwest REIA umbrella started meeting in anywhere we could meet for free, basically. And we got moved often. But and then they elected me to the board of directors at Northwest REIA. And then by 2014, they elected me as president of the Northwest REIA, and that was like a full-time job getting no pay. At the same time, like a year later, I became the president of the Eugene Opera for some of you guys that remember that. So it was like a 70-hour no pay job, and my investment activity was way down. I bought my first fourplex in 2012. Did my first flip in 2014. And a flip, I'm going to, in case you guys don't know, a flip is buying a rundown house, fixing it up, and selling it. That's all that a flip is. In my REIA meetings back in the early days, some people that you know were my guest speakers, like Bill Slattery and John Brown were guest speakers at our main monthly meeting. And that they really helped me out a lot. I think Rick Duncan also sent someone to be a speaker for one of those early meetings on appraisals. Let's see. I did end up leaving the Northwest REIA after being president because I wanted to start my own REIA down here in Eugene. So I turned it into a company instead. That's it. I was going to tell, if we have time, about, I got 5 minutes, to give you a little update on the market, the real estate market. The real estate market in Eugene and everywhere in Oregon basically is hot, 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 and meaning that the prices are so high that it's hard to buy a house. In fact, a real estate agent in Bend at Tuesday night's meeting said, she reported that, I'm switching stuff out here, that she listed a house in Bend. All the offers are coming in cash, by the way, these days, and I'll have to get to that too. But she said she got a cash offer, $50,000 over the asking price from a Californian for that house. And that was the only offer. And they didn't even bother contacting the listing agent to see if there were other offers in order to compete. It is like, this is what is going on. People are just so desperate to buy houses, is that they are just throwing out cash offers, $50,000 over the price. And this is like a $400,000, $450,000 home, I think she said it was. And so it went for, or I actually don't remember, maybe Dan remembers, but 50,000, it was substantial. I'm got an article here that talks about how in Portland area, the cash offers are all coming in. I saw a house here in Eugene that sold for, it was listed for 350 and it sold for 450, like that. And my also thought is that because this is happening because people are moving away from the cities, the big cities, and learning that they can work from home now because of COVID. That's what COVID has done. People are working from home. So office buildings, you'll see a lot of commercial properties up for sale soon, is my thought. The way we do it as REIA members, how do we get into houses? How do we get into investment properties, that kind of stuff, is through creative financing. I would suggest, this is an example of creative financing. If somebody here is looking, or you know somebody who's looking for a house and they now have to give cash offers because the seller wants it to close fast when they know they can get cash offers, is to get a hold of a private money lender or a hard money lender to provide that cash up front, and they're able to close in a week or two rather than 1 or 2 months, because that's how long it takes when you've got a mortgage involved, and then refinance it after you take possession with a mortgage loan, which you know is at low rates, 2%, 3%, that kind of thing. I want to open it up to questions now.
Yeah, let's take a couple minutes for questions of Grace or her friends.
Grace, is REIA, because there's chapters all over it, is it a franchise? Is it an association? What is the nature of the organization?
that's a good question. Thanks, Mike. So there is a national REIA, and many REIAs are members of the national REIA. My REIA is not a member of the national REIA. There are real estate investment clubs, which are national, and it is a member of a real estate club, a REIC. We call these REICs, and then there's REIAs. So, but the REIC club doesn't provide very many, doesn't provide a whole lot. So, but they are in Canada. They are all across, in many, many communities across the United States.
I see John Fanner had his hand up, and
Yeah.
then Kathy.
What's the definition of hard money?
Okay, a hard money loan is a company who has private investors, and like Jeanette said, she's lending her money to Precision Capital. Precision Capital is a hard money lender. They're a great company here in Eugene, but so then the hard money is lent out at maybe 9% to 12% to 14%, 15%, 16%. In Mike Brenzian's world of cannabis, it's a lot higher percentage. So
Sometimes 20% or more.
yeah.
Wow. Kathy.
So 2 questions. First, what is note investing? What does that mean? And second, for Patricia, what's she doing in Iceland?
Iceland. Okay, so
Go ahead, Grace, you first.
yeah, well, note investing is investing in paper. It's investing in mortgages. It's investing in seller financing. It's buying somebody else's paper. So if a note is available, they're sold all the time. Like your mortgage gets sold maybe 3 times in your lifetime of having that mortgage, maybe 5 times. That is a note being sold. Patricia, go ahead.
So, and I'll just piggyback, Kathy, quickly. So everybody understands what a mortgage is. The mortgage and the note go hand in hand. There's slightly different words depending on what state you're in, but everybody, I think, understands the basics. So the mortgage is a financial tool, a legal tool that says, you can use my house as collateral. I say that that's okay. The note is literally the IOU. They go together when you buy a house. So you're going to buy a house from, you buy a house in the market, and you're going to take a mortgage out with Bank of America or Wells Fargo or something like that. You're going to have a mortgage and a note. You sign them both. And then what might happen is that Bank of America decides a couple of years down the road, they're going to sell your note. They're going to sell your mortgage. The terms are often used interchangeably to somebody else. And so those of us who are note investors can purchase notes, which is basically, it's the IOU. So somebody has been making mortgage payments. It's a performing note, so there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the bank or the original lender wants to do something else. So that's it. So you can buy those notes.
Iceland.
Iceland, indeed. So well, next year, what we'll be doing is I've got some boots on the ground, some friends who live in Iceland, and there's an opportunity to purchase homes in neighborhoods in some of the resort towns of Iceland and offer them for sale, kind of like Airbnb, but except ours is part of a network for a locally existing resort that has hotel rooms, but there are families, especially now post-pandemic, who want to travel, not expose themselves to hotel rooms, et cetera, and might have, you know, multiple generations. They all want to travel together. And so we have an opportunity to buy some houses and offer them for vacation rentals under the wing of an adjacent hotel, so we can some piggyback operationally on their concierge services, et cetera. So I'm putting together an investment fund, which will be a pool of investors. We all go in on this together, and it's cash flow. So it's a long-term buy and hold, and it'll throw off cash flow payments. And so that's what Iceland's about.
Fascinating. Okay, well, let's give Grace and everyone who spoke with her today a big hand. Thank you for coming in and presenting to us. We always donate 10 polio vaccines in your names to our Rotary efforts to eradicate polio worldwide. So thank you for that. Next week, our program is the Northwest Forest Plan, and Amanda Astor will be speaking to us about that. And Jim Anderson, you are introducing that program, correct? Yep, I saw a nod. That's all I needed to see. In June, our program will be Megan, what's her last name, Susie?
Jokes. Jokes.
Schultz, that's right. I was mixing her up with a Megan I knew on the coast. That's why I knew that was wrong. Will be talking to us about the big picture of homelessness in our county. Susie, do you want to take 2 seconds and say any more than that?
Yeah, sure. This task force just concluded a deep dive into looking into resources available, especially for the 11 to 17 unaccompanied youth population. There are a disturbing number of kids in that group, and looking at what's currently available for them and what the recommendations are for making things better. So she'll be presenting.
Thank you. And that should be a good program too. A little bit depressing, but need to know. I want to invite all you visitors to come back to our meeting. And Mike, you could just transfer clubs. We'd gladly take you. Maybe, you need a change, it's like the 7-year itch or something, or the 20 some